welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Taylor Chanel, aka Tay Chanel. I forgot to record a intro video, but today I'm doing a balloon garland design at a hair salon. So I'm starting out with blowing up 2 balloons on my balloon pump, and then I tie them together to create a dupe. I'm always going to use the 2 same colors because I'm doing color blocking. If I were not doing color blocking, then I would usually do 2 random colors and tie those up together, and then a couple that are the same. In this video, I'm going to be using Tuftex, Bellatex, and Qualitex balloons. The navy colored balloons are from Tuftex. The Tiffany blue or turquoise blue color is from Bellatex, and then the white balloons that you would see that I'm blowing up is from Qualitex. As you can see here, that balloon had a lot of cone shape to it, so I pressed down on the top of it so I can release some of that air so it can create more of a rounded shape balloon before tying it into a dupe. You want to make sure that you do that. You want your balloons to be rounded and not cone shape. The cone shape, it looks very weird, and when you are creating your balloon garland, you really want it to pop and you really want it to look full, and you're going to need that round shaped balloons to do that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and speed up this process because all I'm doing in this portion is just blowing up all of my balloon variations. And actually in this video, I only used 11-inch balloons and 5-inch balloons. I had some white 24-inch balloons that I had from Party City a while back from another balloon design. So you will see me having 2 of those 24-inch balloons. But yeah, so just 2 24-inch balloons, 11-inch balloons, and 5-inch balloons for my clusters. Okay, y'all, so all of my balloons are blown up. I have 3 different balloon colors, and now I am going to grab my fishing line and get ready to start my garland. I use fishing line. You can use 260 balloons. You can use balloon string. You can use whatever that you're comfortable with and that you want to use. However, I have found that using fishing line works best for me. Some people like to just tie clusters together and tie the necks of the balloons together to create their garlands. I prefer not to do that. I think that the fishing line is nice, it's sturdy, and it just works for me. This is the technique that I found that works best for me. You have to find your technique. So as I zoom in, you can see how I'm showing you how to tie the knot. It is a simple knot. You tie it, it's in one knot. I usually like to tie about 3 knots on my first set, just because this is the base and this is what's going to hold up your entire garland. So just imagine that coming apart and everything else just falling apart after you have left setting this up for an event. That's a disaster. So you want to make sure that it's nice, it's sturdy, and that it is secured. So that's what I did here. Once I do that, I usually take 2 or 3 more dupes of the exact same color, and I place it in like a T, so I cross it, and then I just take the fishing line and I'm going to go over the new balloon that I just put on top and then go under an existing balloon that I already had. I'm going to pull it, and then I'm just going to wrap it around one more time just to make sure it's nice and sturdy, and then I will grab another dupe of the same color and do that same process all over again. So I put the balloon on top in the middle, so it's inside that little gap. And then I take my fishing line and I wrap it around the new balloon that I just put on top, and then I take it under one of the existing balloons that was already there. I'm going to pull it tight and then wrap it around one more time so it is nice and secure. Now that I already have 3 dupes of the same color on here, I might do a 4th dupe. I typically don't go over 4, but after this set I should hop on to the next color, which I believe I started with the light turquoise blue. And I put that on top, and I just keep continuing with this process until my garland starts to build some length. I always like to build a base, and so what I mean by that is I like to just go ahead and build a straight up and down garland. That's just my base, and that's what I start with. And then once my base is done, then I like to start and add more of the dimension and more of the pop to it. So you'll see me go through this process of just building my garland. I'm going to speed this up for you all so you don't get bored. Okay, now my base of my garland is done, so you're going to see me try to look and see how I want to place it, where I want to place it, how up I want to start. That's what I'm doing here, and as you can see, I'm doing it over this green wall, which is so cute. So, yeah, I'm just trying to place it and see where I want it, where I plan to put my command hooks on, and where I want them to be. So that's what I'm doing. And guys, excuse me for my voice. I am so sick right now, and I'm just realizing how terrible I sound and how congested I sound. So my apologies for that. Okay, so I am placing my first command hook somewhere near the top so I can get ready to secure the top part. I actually only use 2 command hooks. I use a top command hook and a bottom command hook to hook the base of my garland, and that was all that I needed. And what I do is I take a 260 balloon, as you can see what I'm doing right now, and I just stretch it out just a tad bit. It's super stretchy, they won't pop. These 260 balloons are awesome, and all I do is I just loop it around the hook of the command, and I make a knot. You can do it with 1 knot. I like to do it with 2. Like I said, I need that security. I need to know that it is safe, it is not going to fall, and my design will stay on there and last throughout the entire duration of the event. So that's what I'm doing here, just tying a knot, making sure that it's nice and secure. And once I get that first one on, I just go and I grab my garland, and then I tie that first command strip around my garland. Okay, y'all, so y'all see now that I have my first command hook with my 260 bloom wrapped around the top part, so that one is nice and secure. I'm working on the bottom one right now. Once you get that 260 on it, you just wrap it around a couple of blooms to make sure it's nice and secured. Okay, so the base of my garland is done. It is on the wall. It is safe, and we are ready to start building, adding some dimension, adding in some clusters to really make this garland pop, because we are pretty popping. Okay, so let's get started. So right now I have a cluster of my navy balloons, and I am just wrapping a 260 balloon around that cluster so that I can attach it to my garland. Again, this is my technique. This is what I do. I have never had an issue with this. I like to build my base of my garland from fishing line, and then I do clusters, and I attach my clusters to 260 balloons. And I don't use fishing line for my clusters. I'm sorry I didn't show it in this clip, but I will make sure that I show you next time how to create your clusters. But essentially you just take two dupes of balloons that are tied together, and you just intertwine them with each other by crisscrossing them to make sure that they are locked in place. And you can also take another dupe and repeat that same step, so you have about 6 balloons in a cluster. However big you want your clusters to be. Your clusters can be 4, 6, 8, whatever. But I use 260s because they're just so much easier to wrap around your garland once you start to build the dimension in it. You just really take that 260 and you wrap it around one of the existing balloons that is attached to your garland already. And then you figure eight it through one of your balloons that is on your cluster. So it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing right now, but essentially that's what I'm doing is just wrapping my 260 balloon around an existing balloon on the garland, and then around the balloon that's in the cluster already. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to build my garland and add some dimension into it by continuing to add my clusters of balloons and wrapping my 260 balloon around the base of my garland into other clusters. So this garland can come to life and start to really pop. This was one of my first balloon garlands that I did for a business. It was a hair salon that is located in the DFW area in Farmers Branch, but very close to Dallas, Texas, more so North Dallas. So just watch me as I continue to build this garland and it starts to pop. Y'all, I am so scared to get on that very top part of the step ladder. I can only go to step 2. You will not catch me on step 3, okay? Okay, so now you see me going in with my 5-inch clusters, which I like to just call fillers because that's exactly what they are. They are there to fill in those gaps, those holes, and just really bring life to your garland. So that's what I'm doing now. I typically take 3 balloons and tie them into a knot and attach it with one side of a 260, and then attach 3 more 5-inch balloons, and attach that to the other side of the 260. So that way I have 2 ends with balloons on them, and it just takes up less amount of time for me to fill my garland with these clusters of 5-inch balloons, and it just brings more life to your garland. So that's what you see me doing now. Because I'm in a hair salon, I had to get a lot of the hair off of the balloons, so you kind of see me like pinching and really cleaning off the balloons so that that hair is not showing there. Alright guys, so this is pretty much the end of the video. This is the final product of my balloon garland. The colors worked very well together and lots of dimension in it. Thank you all for watching and tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as I will be posting more videos like this. See you soon.